And welcome back to Epic Arms. Today we're looking at a new optic on the market. The Nutrek Coppertag 5-25x56, the newest optic to hit the market, being a full-featured budget entry-level optic that has all the features. So we're talking 32 mils of internal adjustment, 10 milliradians per revolution, a zero-stop Christmas tree-style illuminated reticle, 5-25 magnification, and some pretty decent glass. So starting at $500 to $600, this is particularly competitive in a very competitive market. So the Nutrek Coppertag in their series have a 3-18x50, a 5-25x56, such as this one, and a 7-35x56. These are shipped from China if you order directly from their website, which they say can take 5 to 7 days to be received by US orders, or you can purchase them from retailers or dealers once that does happen. So it looks like they are open to new dealers and retailers at the moment. So if you are looking to support the channel, please be sure to check out cdnprecision.com. We do have a website, which is how we make all these videos possible. If you're looking to purchase a shooting tripod, scope rings, we have plenty in stock. Let's take a look at the most important part of this optic, being the glass quality. Now this is our tower at 2,000 yards. You can tell that there's quite a amount of, you can tell a lot of detail from this optic, which is really what we're looking for. So a lot of cheap or budget optics, you know, they tend to be a little bit more blurry. You usually can't make quite as much detail. And I find with this one, you know, they did a pretty good job. Now, one thing I did notice though, is if you crank this turret to the max, like let's say you drive that elevation all the way up, you are going to notice a bit of distortion. And this is actually quite common on about any optic that has 32 mils of internal adjustment at this price point, is there going to be a bit of distortion over at the top once you crank these turrets quite this much. So just to be expected. Next, let's go to the range and do a little bit of long range shooting.
Whew. It is cold, as you can imagine. We got the new Nutrek 525x56, and we're going to be sending some rounds downrange. Quick validation shot on our big plate. I hit it, but I think I hit low. Did not quite see. All right, I got to bring it up just a little. All right, now we should be good to nail the little ones. Yeah, baby. All right, you guys think I can hit that tiny one? I don't think I'm dialed in enough. I don't know. Woo! Yeah! Man, this gun shoots, and in terms of observational quality, the glass in this is pretty darn nice. Hold more on the left. There we go.
That was fun. Now, let's test these turrets, which is probably the second most important part of any optic, being the turret test. These optics have 10 mils per revolution. They're positive, they're audible. Listen to this. So they're positive, they're audible, they have a zero stop, a shelf type zero stop, which is quite common at this price. It does have a capped windage turret, which, I mean, the turrets in there are also quite positive and quite audible. Now, let's go make sure these turrets can track.
All right, let's start with the box test. Let's go 3 mils down. Okay. All right, back to 0. And back to 0. Okay. Let's test the tracking. Let's go 3 mils down. 6.
9, 12, and let's go for 15. How are we looking? Let's change that a little. Looks like we're pretty close. All right, let's see how much internal adjustment it has. That's it. And that's it. Let's check the windage. That's it. And back to 0. All right. Let's see if it'll return to 0 with magnification. Any point of impact change. Not bad.
This turret's tracked very well. It did the box test perfectly. The turret, the tracking was like 1 click off on the 15 mil mark. So I think it did a really, really good job in that aspect. Next, let's talk about the eye relief. So we have 3.7 inches of eye relief, and what I find is just the way the image is kind of presented to the eye, it gives you a very full kind of eye picture. So I've looked at many different optics, and something I've kind of observed is depending on the design, depending on the optic, the image can feel very far away, or it could feel very much up in your face. And actually that would be how I kind of see this one, the 5-25 by 56. Now next, let's look at the fit and finish. So if we're looking at the magnification, it has a throw lever, which I find is pretty darn good. Usually at this price point, what I've noticed in terms of, let's say, consistency is they're not always able to be perfect in terms of consistency. So you might get one that's smooth, one that's a little stiffer, one that's very stiff. And I think it's kind of, it's hard to expect buttery finish or some super smooth operation on whether it's the focus parallax or the magnification. And this one, surprisingly, it's quite smooth. It does come with a throw lever, which just helps a little bit even more. And if we look at this focus parallax, as you can tell, it turns very nicely. It turns very easily and freely. Also, the focus parallax starts all the way down at 10 yards. So 10, 15, 20, 50, 100, 200, 300, 500, and infinity. The numbers don't quite match, is very much to be expected on any optic, whether it's a super expensive one or a budget optic. A lot of the companies don't even include it on their optics anymore. They just put usually like a kind of degrading kind of triangle here. Also, the field of view. So we look at the lowest magnification of 5. We have 23.5 feet in diameter at 100 yards. If we crank it up to 25, we have 4.7 feet at 100 yards of diameter. Now, this is considered to be a very wide field of view. And I mean, many of the 5-25 by 56s have this same very wide field of view. Next, let's talk about the reticle. So it is a very good design of reticle. So this one actually looks rather familiar, and I really do like it quite a bit. It's an illuminated Christmas tree style reticle, which a lot of the time at this price point we notice significant washout around the illumination and the illuminated part, which is the small cross in the middle. And I tested it at various different backgrounds at various different distances, and there was very little washout on that reticle. So I think they did a pretty good job on that. Next is the warranty. So the Nutrek Coppertag has a 5-year warranty, and they specify this for ordinary users. For competitive shooters or professionals, it's a 2-year warranty. So let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. So anyway, I really like the fact that new companies are coming out with competitive products at competitive prices, and it really drives our industry to further better ourselves. So in the last, I'd say prior to, let's say, 6 years ago, there really wasn't all that much movement in kind of what we see in optics. And since then, it's like we have lots of different choices and lots of different great options. So if you are looking to support the channel, please be sure to check out cdnprecision.com. We do have a website, which is how we make all these videos possible. If you're looking to purchase a shooting tripod, scope rings, we have plenty in stock. And again, thanks for watching Epic Arms.